They made my life hell for 4 years, humiliated me, broke me down, and 10 years later, they walked into our high school reunion thinking everyone forgot. I made sure nobody would ever forget again. High school was the worst time of my life, and I know everyone says that, but for me, it was actually true. I was bullied relentlessly by 3 girls who made it their mission to destroy me every single day: Jessica, Amber, and Nicole. Those names still make my stomach turn. But here's the thing about bullies. They always think they got away with it. They move on with their lives, pretend to be good people, and hope nobody remembers. Well, I remembered everything, and I was about to make sure everyone else did too. Let me take you back to who I was in high school. I was the quiet girl who kept to herself. I wore thrift store clothes because my mom worked 2 jobs just to keep us afloat. I had bad acne that no amount of cheap drugstore cream could fix. I was an easy target, and Jessica, Amber, and Nicole knew it. Jessica was the popular cheerleader, the one everyone wanted to be friends with. She led the pack. Amber was her sidekick, the one who came up with the coolest ideas. And Nicole, she filmed everything. She was the one who made sure my humiliation lived online forever. They did everything you can imagine. They tripped me in the hallways and laughed when my books went flying. They posted edited photos of me online with captions calling me ugly and worthless. But the worst thing they ever did? They created a fake social media account. They pretended to be a guy named Tyler who went to another school. For weeks, this fake Tyler messaged me. He said I was pretty. He said he wanted to take me out. I actually believed someone could like me. Then one day in the cafeteria, in front of everyone, they revealed it was all fake. They played the messages out loud. Everyone laughed. I've never felt so small in my entire life. I went home that day and cried for hours. My mom found me and held me, but there was nothing she could say to make it better. Senior year was somehow even worse. At prom, I saved up money from my part-time job to buy a white dress. It wasn't expensive, but it was mine, and I felt beautiful for the first time. Jessica walked up to me with a cup of chocolate milk and just poured it all over me, right there on the dance floor. Everyone pulled out their phones. Nicole got it all on video. I left crying and never went back to another school event. I graduated quietly and disappeared. I wanted to forget they ever existed. The next 10 years changed me completely. I worked 3 jobs to put myself through community college. Then I transferred to a university and studied digital marketing and graphic design. I was exhausted all the time, but I was building something. At 25, I started my own social media consulting business. I helped brands build their online presence, create content strategies, and grow their audiences. By 28, I was making 6 figures. I got therapy, I worked on myself. I learned how to dress well, cleared my skin, and became genuinely confident. I wasn't that scared girl anymore. When my 10-year high school reunion invitation showed up in my mailbox, my first reaction was to throw it away. Why would I want to see those people again? Why would I go back to a place that held nothing but painful memories? But something made me curious. I looked up Jessica, Amber, and Nicole on social media, and what I found made me smile for the first time in this whole story. Jessica was now calling herself an influencer. She had thousands of followers and posted constantly about her amazing life. But something felt off. Her engagement was terrible. Barely any comments. Suspicious activity. I ran her account through a social media audit tool that I use for my clients. Turns out 87% of her followers were fake. Bought bots. Her entire online presence was a lie. Amber was working as a local real estate agent. Her website made her look successful and professional, but when I checked her reviews, 1 star after 1 star. Clients calling her manipulative, dishonest, and rude. There were even complaints filed against her for unethical business practices. Nicole was trying to launch a lifestyle blog. She posted about wellness, fashion, and self-care. But here's the problem. I recognized some of her content. She was stealing it from smaller creators and passing it off as her own. Plagiarism. Clear as day. All three of them were faking their success. They were barely getting by, but pretending online that they had it all figured out. And that's when I got an idea. I wasn't just going to show up to this reunion looking good. I was going to expose everything, the past and the present. I was going to make sure everyone knew exactly who these women really were. I spent 2 months preparing. I created a private website that only I could access. I compiled everything. Screenshots of every cruel message they sent me. Evidence of the fake dating profile with IP addresses traced back to them. Photos and videos of their pranks that were still online because they thought it was funny to keep them up. I even got my therapy records showing the documented anxiety and depression they caused me. I reached out to other people they bullied, and 3 of them agreed to contribute their stories anonymously. But I didn't stop there. I documented their current lies too. Jessica's fake follower report, Amber's terrible client reviews and complaint records, Nicole's plagiarized content with side-by-side comparisons. Everything was organized, fact-checked, and dated. I even consulted with a lawyer to make sure I wasn't doing anything illegal. I wasn't. I was just presenting the truth. The night of the reunion, I walked in wearing a designer dress with professional makeup and the kind of confidence that only comes from genuinely winning at life. People started whispering immediately. Some didn't even recognize me. Jessica, Amber, and Nicole were already there, huddled together, taking selfies and talking loudly about their so-called amazing lives. When Jessica saw me, her face went through about 5 different emotions in 2 seconds. Recognition, shock, fear. But she recovered quickly with a fake smile and said something passive-aggressive about how different I looked. Amber made a comment about money buying anything. Nicole just stared at me like she was trying to figure out if I remembered what they did. Oh, I remembered. Every single thing. I spent the first hour playing it cool. I talked to people who were actually nice to me back then. I laughed, I mingled, and I waited. The perfect moment came when the reunion organizers asked if anyone wanted to share life updates with the group. Jessica jumped up immediately and started talking about her influencer career and how she was changing lives through social media. People clapped politely, but I could see the doubt on some faces. When she finished, I raised my hand, I walked to the front with my laptop, and asked if I could connect it to the projector. They thought I just wanted to share some photos, so they said yes. What appeared on that screen changed everything. I started calm. I said I wanted to talk about social media and online presence, since that was my career. Then I showed the first slide, a photo of me from high school, covered in chocolate milk at prom, tears running down my face. The room went completely silent. I explained what happened that night. I named Jessica, Amber, and Nicole directly while looking straight at them. Then I showed everything, years of evidence, the messages, the fake profile, the videos of them laughing while I cried. Some people gasped, others started whispering angrily. A few people walked to the back where my bullies were trying to hide. But I wasn't finished. I pivoted to their current lives. I showed Jessica's fake follower analysis proving her influence was completely fabricated. I showed Amber's 1-star reviews and complaint records. I revealed Nicole's plagiarism with side-by-side proof. Every lie they told about themselves was destroyed in front of everyone. Jessica tried to interrupt, yelling about harassment and defamation. I calmly explained that everything shown was public information or documented fact, and that I had a lawyer review everything beforehand. I was just presenting the truth. Amber started crying, saying it was all in the past and I needed to move on. I looked her in the eye and said the trauma they caused me required years of therapy. So no, it wasn't just the past. Nicole tried to leave, but people actually blocked her way. They wanted to hear it all. And then something unexpected happened. 3 other people stood up and shared their own stories of being bullied by the same group. I wasn't their only victim. The entire room turned against them. By the end of the night, Jessica, Amber, and Nicole left in complete shame. But it didn't end there. People shared what happened on social media. Within days, Jessica lost brand deals. Her follower count dropped. Amber's real estate license got investigated. Nicole's blog was taken down for plagiarism. Everything they built on lies came crashing down. I didn't regret. For years, I carried their cruelty in silence while they pretended to be good people. Exposing them wasn't petty revenge, it was truth and accountability. They built their lives on lies. I just removed the foundation and watched it all collapse. If my revenge story hit you in any way, hit that subscribe button so you don't want to miss my next one.